Do either of you have a question? We can kick it off with that if you'd like.
So I do not. I just
Mm,
join, just listen in. So if
yeah.
there's so you can close up shop whenever you want to, as far as I'm concerned, but I'll listen to see if Maddie's got something.
Yeah. Well, I can always go over questions that have come up in since the last time if we don't have anything. And I see Mary Jo is rolling in. Um, but yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look at the Google group in the meantime. Um, I saw that there was a question from Sandy Kerr about adding a new formatted text box. And she was having kind of a frozen moment of, I guess it said, please wait. I'm not sure exactly where it said, but it just wasn't loading that new formatted text box for her. So if that ever happens, my trick usually is to just save. Um, I'll just pick any site here. And so let's see if I can try and recreate what she was talking about there. Okay, so I'm in my home page, but most every one of our pages has that additional section body with embed code. And it was her attempting to add one of those buttons. Okay, so I saw the please wait. Mine did load, but it did not load with the expected WYSIWYG toolbar. So that is kind of same situ. It's not exactly the same as what Sandy encountered because hers just did not load at all. But I would rectify either one of those with the same, just save. And when you come back to edit, and saving in draft is what I would recommend so you don't have to worry about, if your formatted text box may have had any text that wasn't ready to go live. You don't want to publish that yet, but I have already a formatted text box there, but it does add that additional one and loads it properly after that save and you go back in.
So then where does that formatted, so that additional text that she was putting in, when you actually publish it, where does that appear? I mean,
The good
what,
thing about these boxes, if they're empty, it's like they're not even there. So you could actually have several of these additional formatted text boxes that are just empty. And they, on the public side, won't even look like they're there. So it'll just, after you see, thank you for visiting our site. I obviously have some embed code there, but after that embed code, since these two boxes are empty, then it goes to, since that was the end of my body section, then it would immediately show the promoted items underneath it. So let's actually show you. Um, since I have two formatted text boxes that are there but empty, there's still no additional space under this line here.
okay.
So you can kind of have them laying in wait and have them empty. They won't take up any space and they'll be ready for you to, use once you are wanting to add something there. Um, but yeah, if you do end up needing to add more, just save in between and you won't have any, even if you do end up publishing it and you don't have any content there, it won't make a difference to the viewer.
Maurice, I have a question
Yeah.
talking about saving.
Mhm.
I've noticed, we have the WYSIWYG boxes, but it seems like until I save it, especially if I put in pictures, that the arrangement doesn't.
Doesn't always stick.
Yeah, basically, I have to save it to see where the boxes actually end up, and then if I want the text to wrap around it, that that never shows up in the edit box the same way it does after I save it. So I have to keep going back and forth and trying it. And I'm just wondering, is there any other way to do that,
No,
or is
yeah.
that what we have to do?
Yeah, it really does depend on certain things that you're putting in there because yes, the WYSIWYG is not an exact perfect replica of what you will see. Especially if you're talking about like if you're using tables or images and you're trying to align things. After saving in WYSIWYG, what the system does is tries to kind of reformat tables a little bit, especially if they're pretty wide.
Mhm.
It's always going to try and, shrink them at least or at the most to 800 pixels wide. But if you are trying to like really arrange something in the WYSIWYG editor and you're trying to get, the closest to that in your end
Mhm.
result, try saving it as full HTML. That
Uh-huh.
that may make it trickier if you have to go back in and edit because then you might have to re-edit that arrangement of whatever it is, the picture or the table.
Mhm.
Um, but usually when you set things up in WYSIWYG and then you save them in full HTML, you just switch to that right before saving. That usually um, goes past the system default of trying to reconfigure the width or height of things because the system is always going to try with the WYSIWYG to try and make things a little bit more uniform in their especially with tables. That's mostly what I'm thinking of when
Yeah.
you're trying to, make a table wider in WYSIWYG or you're trying to maybe make the rows smaller or bigger. That upon saving in WYSIWYG usually gets ignored if it's past certain parameters.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, usually if you switch it to full HTML and then save that way, um, you should hopefully see closer to what you were seeing in WYSIWYG.
So then if we want to edit that, and we like bring it up in WYSIWYG, and then once we like the way it looks, do that again and just do the save in full HTML?
Yes, every time. And
Yeah.
then that's the only thing I'm not sure how, because I haven't done this in a while, where after, let's say the first time you do it, you save it in full HTML and then you're ready to come back to make some edits.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's any loss of what you had done when you switch back from full HTML to WYSIWYG. So that would be one thing just to be aware of in case you do have to go back and maybe tweak that picture a little bit or the table to how you had it before. I'm not sure if the switch to WYSIWYG will kind of do what I was saying before, where the system
Right.
just tries to change it and make it kind of the default layout of a table.
Yeah. Well, and my main quote unquote issue, I mean, obviously I found a workaround, but is placing pictures into text and knowing where to put the picture, and then you float it right or you float it left, and you arrange all the text around it, and then once you save it, then usually the picture is like bigger, and there's a lot of space around it, and so the text ends up not being where I wanted it to be, and I just have to then guess where I have to make manual breaks to get it to work the way I want.
Yeah, that is a good example of where that does kind of require more trial and error. Let me see if I can recreate it with a page where I have text. Here we go. Um, yes, I will say that that one is unfortunately one that you can get a general idea of how it'll look here in WYSIWYG, but yeah, it will not give you the full idea until you are seeing it at least in draft mode. So let me drop an
Mhm.
image and we
Yeah,
can
and it
try
would
and
be
recreate
like,
what you had.
with that first paragraph, if I want a picture to be like to the right of just that text,
Hmm.
and then the next line of text for the next section would be all the way across. And usually it ends up, that lower text also is to the
Indented.
left of the picture. Yeah.
Yeah, and that changes depending on. the size of your image, also the dimension or not the orientation. Like if it's a longer portrait size rather than like this one, I have more of a landscape shape.
Mhm.
Um, Higher chance of it kind of interfering with the text below it. So the image options are float image right, float image left. That gives you that additional kind of space or padding around the image so that the text and the image are not, right on top of each other. The other options are if you don't want to have that much space, you can try right justify
So
or
you're right, justify.
left justify. I'm doing
So
that on the image.
okay, so the image, you're not floating it, you're justifying it.
Yeah, so try those to see if it gives you anything different. I believe that not, I mean, we can tell that the space
Right.
on the right of the image is very small. I believe the space underneath it is similarly smaller than if we were to float it.
But now I think, don't you have to
Yeah.
float it to get it to wrap?
It will wrap here. Let's try saving it as well. So left justify is wrapping it to the left, but it is a bit closer to the
Mhm.
text. But
Okay.
I did notice that this first bullet, when it was floating,
Mhm.
um, was caught up on the right side. So there was a bit more spacing happening. Let's try that
Yeah.
one to compare.
Yeah, it seems to me that when I tried before to left justify or right justify the image, that the text didn't wrap. But I don't
Ch
know if you have
Double
to like
check.
do both.
No,
Yeah.
double check because it may be that both the text and the image are left justified. So they're,
Hmm.
it's not able to wrap because the text is being told to do the same thing.
I
So
see.
if that's the case, then you would highlight whatever text is affected or just all of the text. And then typically, I think you should be able to just select it again. Let me try making my text left justified to see if we can take it off. Yeah, it kind of makes it wonky. It now goes right underneath the picture. Um, but if that's the case, you should be able to just select left justify and it takes it off. Um, Let me try again. If I left justify this and we try the eraser, that's going to take off some of the formatting, like this was in
Right.
bold. But if for any reason when you are trying to take off left justify from here and it doesn't come off, oh, like that just happened, then try the eraser. The eraser usually never fails as like the kind of end attempt
Yeah, so
when
it's
we take it.
interesting because what it did was it took text that was actually at the top and put it under the other text that wasn't left justified.
Right.
But then when you took it off, it put it back in the right place. And I think I've also had that happen, which was very confusing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
So,
it's literally just trying to follow the lead of the picture because the picture technically, like if we are, you know, take off all the formatting, the picture is technically at the top of this text
mhm.
without the title there. Um, so if you left justify as long as you keep going down to left justify bits of the text, they're just going to fall in order, kind of. Um, Fallen in a different order based on they are being left or right justified, whatever the case may be. They're just, going in order, may not be the actual order that we see here, where one, two, three different paragraphs. Um, but yeah, just depending on what is all made left justified and what is left unformatted, then it kind of changes the order of things and would definitely be confusing if you're like not expecting that to happen.
Yeah, the kind of thing that I have been trying to do is like that first list under like the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political, that
Hmm.
dot point list. I would want to put a picture to the right of just those dot point items.
I see. Yeah, that one
And
I
so
would
what I
say
would do is I would put the
takes more
picture
trial.
like in front of the first dot point
Hmm.
and then float it to the right. But
Yeah, that's where I would start too. Let's see if I can just copy and paste. There we go. And again, that's one where you might choose right justify if your list is maybe shorter.
mhm. Yeah, and then what I would find is like what you just had, where the well, actually, now that it's to the left, it does, I mean to the right, it doesn't really matter as much. What I have happen a lot is if I do it in front of the
To
dot
the
points,
left.
so that the
Uh-huh.
dot points are to the right, then it'll look like I have all the dot points next to it, but when I save it, you know, either more stuff under it is next to it, or one of the dot points that's supposed to be next to it is under it.
It's underneath.
I don't remember. I think it was actually the usually more stuff ends up next to the picture than I intend.
If that is the case, then that's usually the image is bigger than the space that the bullet points are taking, or as far as like the height goes. But also, again, because the floating options, the float image options
Mhm.
add some padding, then that
Yeah,
is, harder to account for because you don't know the exact size, but that does always add that extra space all around or on all three sides that it's not leaning towards.
yeah. So now if you save this, what would it look like?
Yeah, let's save this like this. And then I do also want to see what it looks like if we left Justify. That may not be as beautiful.
Well, it's really good to know that the float puts the padding and the justify does not, because that can be handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so now it looks like, um, I mean, it didn't move any of the text, but it does look like there's less space under it than there was when it was in the edit mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that
okay,
playing around with the
lots of
pictures
things to play
definitely
around with.
does require some extra saving, but yeah, hopefully the left and right Justify will make a difference with some of your images.
Yeah, try it one more time and make that. I think you've got it like left justified now,
Right
which
now
gets rid of the padding. So
that one
try
has
it with the
padding. That
float.
one is the float image left right now. Let's see.
Oh, really? So, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have padding.
It is it's
The
not as
dots
tall
are
as an image. It's kind of like squat. So the padding is there, but it's not very
under
noticeable.
underneath, but not to the right.
Right. And that's because I think it's the bulleted list. So that's where this being, if we do it left justify, I think it might not look too, yeah. Let's see if that actually
Ah,
comes through
interesting.
after saving. Yeah, so that would be trying
No
to
dots at all.
trying to left or right justify near a bulleted list, I would
Mhm.
say avoid. But
Okay.
when it was just
Okay.
regular text, it was depending on if you had it on the right, float or right justify was better as far as it's not overlapping with the text.
Yeah.
But yeah, left justify is a little bit of a trickier sell. Let's see what right justify looks like. And the other thing too is this image that I picked has like the white or transparent background on this picture, so it
Mhm.
doesn't really look like it's so close to the text. That also might be part of
Oh,
the reason
that's a
why.
good thing to consider too, that if my image has a transparent background, that maybe you can still see the text. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, that's good to know because I wondered how to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, you've given me a bunch of new things to consider.
Awesome. Yeah, and especially I think in this day and age where a lot of us are probably using Canva, that transparent background option is right there before saving. If you are, creating a design that basically has a white background, there's
Hmm.
a box you can check um, when you click share or download, and then transparent background is there.
Yeah, I think actually Snagit, which is what I usually use, I think
Oh,
that
nice.
also has that option.
Okay, cool. Is that a screenshotting or that's um a designing app?
Yeah, Snagit is I basically it's really good for like snagging things off the screen,
Okay, nice.
which is I think why they call it that. But it has, some basic graphic capabilities, which is nice because, if you get into some of the others, they get very complicated.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, so I was noticing because I was trying to get some things to be transparent, and it seems to me I was able to do it in Snagit.
Nice. Yeah, that would be another thing to play around with then, especially if
Hmm.
you're trying to, have these floating nicely around your text.
And then it's also,
Oh, I don't hear you, Matt. Let me make sure did my headphones go down? You can hear her. I think it's me. What just happened? But y'all can hear me? There we go.
yeah, can you hear me now?
I think my internet is unstable, so it just
Oh,
stole my speaker from me.
oh, well, I'm glad it's back. Yes, I was just saying another thing that's important when you're messing around with these kinds of things is to check out what it's going to look like on a mobile device.
Oh yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Because sometimes I made it look really beautiful on my desktop, and then on the mobile device, it's a disaster.
Yes, yes. And I'm the same because I'll do that a lot of the time, and yeah, you get the picture. It's always the pictures or the larger things,
Hmm.
and they look beautiful, and then you go to the mobile device, and I always tell you guys I right click and hit inspect on my screen, and then I have I think it's, what is it called? Toggle device toolbar. And then this gives you, only because of the cache in MyLO, we have to wait those 15 to 20-ish minutes usually to see the updates and to avoid having to log in on my phone. That usually doesn't take long, but still, this is really instant to see that layout so that you
Hmm.
can keep working and say, oh, wow, that's taking up a lot of space, a lot more space than I expected.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I've found that sometimes when I have trouble, especially like with tables and things like that, getting them to look the way I want, I just create it as a graphic and then just put that whole JPEG in there, and then it doesn't move around because a lot of times things just, some things get bigger, some things get smaller. And if it's all in one graphic, then it shrinks and grows together. So
Yeah,
that's, that's
that is
worked in
right.
a couple of cases.
The columns will resize themselves to try and be kind of more even across all. And again, always
Mhm.
is trying to keep within that overall 800 pixels. Um, yeah, so that is another way around it. I would say the um the accessibility of an image um is, I mean, tables aren't great either as far as accessibility goes because they're usually not very clear um for the person who might be, reading it with a screen reader. It may not be clear the columns and rows as they keep going across
Mhm.
because we always work with headers and labels on the top or the side of tables that are a lot easier to understand visually.
Yeah.
Um, but when it comes to images, I would say just try and make sure that you have even just like a list of the data or a very simple kind of repeat of the data in some
Right.
way, just
In
so that,
text.
yeah, exactly.
In
So,
text.
so that if somebody were experiencing the page without being able to see it all, that they're still getting the same idea
Right.
as any other reader.
And the same thing is true about hyperlinks. In graphic, you can only give it one hyperlink. And
Right,
so if there's multiple potential hyperlinks, you have to put those outside, as text
right,
or some other picture.
right. Yeah, just
Yeah,
repeating them so that, yeah, all folks are, and that's also for anybody because, yeah, like you said, if there's multiple links in an image, that just means even the folks who are able to see the image, they would still have to go and type it in themselves, and most
right.
folks aren't doing that. So
No, they just want to
accessibility
click
is,
on
yep, accessibility is the way to go just to help everybody out.
it. Well, thanks. That was very helpful.
Yeah, I like
I,
when we
I
get,
like the look of your layout there.
I might have to keep my page this way.
And did you see that Mary Jo said going to
Oh,
she's going to
yes,
sign out and come back in?
I
I don't
see
know if
her
you need
now.
to let her back in or not.
Thank you, Deborah. That caught my attention to look at the the request by her. Yeah, something's
Ah,
going around with our
gremlins.
audio.
Gremlins in the system. Yeah, we're so dependent on our technology, and it just gets more and more complicated.
Right.
I was finding, what was it? Oh, I was trying to figure out how to blur a face in a photograph because it was a person who was not part of our party, and I was trying to do it in Microsoft Photo,
Oh.
and I can't do it anymore. They've taken that tool away because they want us to use AI for everything. But of course, AI doesn't know what I want. So I ended up having to, you know, they were suggesting to use paint, and I couldn't even find paint on my system anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sure, I mean, it's like they keep making things easier for us, right?
But
So
taking things away.
by taking things away or
Yeah.
hiding them,
Uh-huh.
like 5 levels down in the menu. But so I went to snag it and it had a blur tool. So I just
Nice.
did it there. It was easy.
Nice. Is Snagit does it require a subscription?
Um, it's free for personal use. Uh, I so I have it signed up that way.
Oh,
And I'm trying to remember the company, but it's been around forever. I first learned about it when I was still working, which has been quite a few years.
but that's
And
awesome. Yeah, because I feel like
it's a really simple, straightforward tool. Even they have like changed things that I wish they hadn't, but they're overall they're really simple to use.
awesome. Yeah, I feel like leagues are always probably looking for, different tools, especially when it's free. You can never
Mhm.
know about too many of them.
Yeah, yeah, they've been around for a long time.
I will look into that. Um,
So it looks like Mary Jo has a question on her audio.
oh
She's
yeah, sorry about that. Okay, there was an orange triangle on your audio. Now your audio symbol has a red circle. How funny. Yeah, let me see if I can get her um the information for joining online.
yeah. Isn't that usually like at the top of our, like in meeting information? She should just be able to dial in from the invitation, right?
Yes, but I think I usually don't include that. So I just dropped that in the
Mm,
chat.
Okay.
which maybe I should probably keep including in case folks need that. But yeah, if she calls one of those numbers, I think she might be asked. Actually, she might not be asked anything.
Well, as long as she has the meeting ID, right?
I think, yeah. And I see iPhone, that might be her as well.
Can, oh,
I hear ya. I'm not
I
sure where
know.
the echo is coming from.
To
So
mute one of them.
Yeah,
I
maybe
guess
mute your computer, but it looks like you are muted there.
oh, well, no. Okay, I'm turning my speaker down. Okay.
Okay, there you
There
go.
we go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on. It's very scary.
That's
Um,
odd.
yeah, but I guess I can get rid of this thing. So, can I ask two questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I wanted to, well, I added a document.
Mhm.
I guess I should speak into my phone, huh? I added a document to my members only League of Women Voter DDH documents,
Mhm.
but I wanted to, and it was a PDF,
Mhm.
so I added it to the media library and did it that way. But I wanted to put a date next to it, and I'm typing it in, but it won't take. And so I don't know if you want to go to that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and masquerade as you. And I'll make my way there. Oops.
It's members only.
Okay. Members only.
So it's oh, there it is. Okay, the
Documents.
documents. Yeah. So so the last one, Wayne County takes a stand. And what I wanted to add was March 19th, 2026. But it just won't let me. I
It
don't know.
just
I
wouldn't
don't know
appear.
why. Yeah.
That can sometimes happen with PDF links, like
Okay.
the ones that we drop in from the media library. Let me see if I can try and remember the workaround here. Uh,
If I put it on the next line, would it work?
let's see. So what actually happens, it sticks around. Like if you go down to this line, if you look here at the path, it says span.media element file link. That gives us the clue that it's the PDF link is still kind of
Oh,
stuck. Um,
hmm.
you have to use the eraser. So it
Which
is
I never know
it
how to use, but I always click it and I don't know what it's doing, but okay. How do you know it's working?
once the media element part falls off.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So let me try it again. Let me or recreate it again. So we
But no,
have,
that's okay. You told us that before. Thank you.
but in case you wanted to add it next to it, I think you can do that too. So you have to space it and then use the eraser. No, it actually didn't. It didn't break it completely. Okay, so I would suggest the next line how we did it. So you hit enter and then you hit the eraser. Whoops, it's not working for me. Let me actually start over
You have
because
to highlight it.
I think it's because I added an additional space. So I'm going to start over. I just undid everything I I did previously. So I have the cursor at the very end of this PDF link. I'm hitting enter just once and then the eraser. If there were any trailing spaces, I think that's what was causing the issue just a second ago. So again, if you have your cursor at the very end and there's no space after the cursor, we hit enter. It still has that media element file link part, but we can hit the eraser and it goes away.
Okay, so is there a way that I could just I can have it right underneath Wayne County and not that extra line?
Yep,
Okay.
just do one. You said what date?
19th this year.
And then let's see. I may undo this, but
Yeah.
we can try doing that.
That's what I'd rather do, but like I was gonna put space, hyphen, space, then the date.
Let me undo and let's try adding a space first. Let's do that. I don't know if the space is going to disappear because it does, that space is attached to the file link, but the text here is not. That
So
text is going to stick. It just may be right up on the end of the hyperlink.
could you, I mean, a lot of times, especially like with hyperlinks, I just put new text in the middle and then get rid of the stuff on the side. So like if you do M space dash
Oh, I see.
space and then get rid of the M, would that work? Space dash space M.
As far as for the
No,
link
no,
or as
not
far as for this
the
text?
text, right
Oh,
on
I
the
see. I
text.
see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That
go
is a,
space dash space and then,
and then we get rid of that and
yeah.
probably that. That is, yes, because that is another way to do it. Thank
What?
you for that, because then it was a little tricky, but let me
Yeah.
go back. Whoops. Let's just go back to here. So the space that I added here, it looks to be still attached to the PDF link. So
Mm.
what I suspect would happen is it would disappear. So Maddie was suggesting the way to, guarantee that the space will be clear and unattached from the PDF link is to add after the M in March, because we know this is regular unformatted text. We hit the space there and then we finish the word March so that that
Oh,
first M just kind of gets taken out. Um,
okay. And you think the other ones work? Oh, I'm sorry.
what
I
was that,
was
Mary?
So
I
are
was
you
just
going to save it?
Yes, I do. And I do also want to leave both
well,
spaces so we can see if
Yeah.
that first space ends up going away. So let's see. I'm going to save it as a draft first. It did go away. Okay.
well, thank you. And so and the reason I was able to do the other ones were probably because they were probably links
Yep,
as
I
as
believe
opposed
so.
to a PDF. Well, thank you. That's very helpful. Okay, and then my other hopefully a quick question is
Yeah.
because it might be an either yes or no, but so I put up a oh, what did I do?
You
Well,
have to
anyway,
save.
my question is, oh yeah, did you want what did you just ask me?
I said, you did that on that previous thing. Did you need to save that as a final?
I did
Yeah,
go ahead and publish it. Is that okay?
yeah, that's what I
Okay.
thought you did. Yeah.
Okay.
So my
Okay.
question is, can I? Okay, so you know how when you do a slideshow
Hmm.
and you can put another a link in there
Hmm.
that gives you to a computer link like that one.
Hmm.
But can you do that with a PDF? I don't think
And
so, but
what do you mean by a PDF? Like to link
well,
to a
I'm trying.
PDF or?
Yeah, link to a PDF.
Yeah, as
Um,
long as you have the link, like if you're trying to add it to a slideshow item.
yeah, I think I tried and it didn't work, but I will now that you're affirming that it can be done. I'll try it again. It's kind of funny because now I'm not sure which slideshow I was going to do unless it was the new one about. Well, I don't know.
Let me see, let me refresh the
Oh
page.
yeah, I think I wanted to maybe put something in the. Oh no, that's a website. I don't know what I was trying to do. I wanted to add April 2026, but cannot. What is going on here? Okay, anyway, you answered yes. A PDF can be added.
Yeah, and if you have any issue, reach out and we can
Yeah.
troubleshoot
Okay.
troubleshoot together.
But I don't know if you, so the first thing well, no, the first thing on my page there is about the mail-in vote thing. And I had received something from a local like voters not politician or whatever. And they gave me some really good information. But again, it's one of those Google sheets and you have to ask permission,
Hmm.
to get it. So I asked permission, and so then I was able to see it, but I can't copy and paste it.
Oh,
So I did send an email to the person who sent it out, but I mean, is there something I could have done? Because I wanted to use, so then I just, said, okay, I need to have something there. So I just went and got what the league had, which maybe I should have done in the first place. But anyway, I wanted to add the information from our local VNP people to that
Oh, I see.
posting, just for more information because there
Right,
wasn't
right,
a
right.
lot there. Anyway, I'm sure I tried it and I'm assuming it didn't work, but because I try things before I ask.
That
Well,
you
no,
got
no,
to do
no,
that.
no, no. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with Milo. That's right. It wouldn't
But
let
that's
me
fine.
copy
No,
and
no,
paste
no.
it.
It sounds like it was a Google.
Google thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
usually, at least I know with Canva, like if you have only view access, you should
right.
be able to make your own copy if you go like through file and there should be drop down of options. But if you were
Oh,
trying to edit that exact
no,
document,
no,
then that would be different.
no. I just, I asked permission to view as a viewer. And then I copied and pasted, but when I copied it, and right away something showed up on the bottom left, and it said copying and paste options have been disabled, something like that.
Let me see.
And maybe they just weren't thinking because if they want us to get this out,
Right.
Right. It should be a more collaborative effort.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know why I'm even asking that. That's just general information. If anybody works a lot with Google and would know, you know.
Yeah, no, I think I haven't tried it myself, and I don't know if I have a document that I could even test it
No,
with. But
that's okay.
usually, if you click like, the options across the top and file, usually
Yeah.
is one of them or the first one that pops up. Make a copy might be an option there. Because I know for sure that's
Oh,
a
oh,
thing
you
in
mean it's
Canva.
oh,
So it may be a thing for the Google
you
Drive
mean
products.
instead of doing my usual Word thing, copy and paste, you're thinking there might be something on the top.
Yeah, where
But
you can just copy the document entirely
oh,
to your
okay.
drive.
Well, I'll try and make note. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm finished finally.
No, all good questions. Thanks, Mary Jo. I'm also rolling through my inbox to see if I find anything that may have come up in the last couple of weeks.
I don't have anything as my sticky slideshow because everything's important.
There
I
is
think
a
I'm going to
lot
go
going on.
copy your slideshow if you don't mind.
yeah, you have
Lots of good
yeah, you
stuff
have
in
a
there.
nice slideshow. You've got some good photos there. Thank
Good
you.
Exactly.
information. Let me make it easier for you. Drop her um, MyLO site in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just brought it up.
Oh, awesome.
And she's also very easy to find. Her metadata is good in terms of
Oh, yeah.
search.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering,
Yeah. Feel
on
free to
that
tell her.
the Google question that Mary Jo just had,
Yeah.
I can't really test it because I have access to the Google Drive, but
Right.
can she download that item, that Google item
That
to
might
her?
be an option too.
And then it's in Word and on her desktop, and then she can, I don't know if you can
Right, right,
download
right.
it.
But if it is an option, would be under the same where if make a copy or download are
Yeah.
available, they'd be in that same list. So yeah, that is a good alternative if one or the other isn't available.
I was actually wondering that because I've been trying to give people permission,
Hmm.
and it only works if they download it because Google Docs skews up any kind of Word document.
Uh,
I
Mm.
mean, when you upload a Word document and it becomes a Google
Oh,
Doc,
right, right,
it's
right.
all messed up.
It's not exactly the same formatting. We might as well try it now. I don't have to have a particular document. think I can start with a blank one. And as long as I put view access, and I can hopefully test it. Oops. All right, anyone with viewing access, and maybe let me use one of my other Google profiles here. Oops, didn't mean to close them all. All right, so now I'm visiting the document not as the owner. Let's see what options I get under file. Okay, they're both there.
Oh,
So make a copy is a Google Doc into your drive, and then obviously download, you get to choose what type of file you'd like on your device.
yeah. No idea if that was there or not, but I will try it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't have too many other questions. There was a question about theme, but I think we all know about the different colors and theme options you have with MyLO. And then if you ever wanted to have the menu across the top, you just reach out to us and we'll work with you to get that going.
So you mean you could use the menu across the top even with the red, white, and blue format, or no?
Unfortunately not. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for the purple and gold.
I wonder if there's any way I could see what ours would look like without actually changing it.
I can, what I usually offer, like, especially for leagues that are like having a harder time condensing down their menu, I can recreate it, and I put air quotes because it's not going to be an exact replica of your site, but I can essentially lay out your menu items in a demo site, and then you won't have access to it, but at least like you said, you'll be able to see what it would look like laid out. And then maybe sometimes I make suggestions, especially if it's a larger menu and the folks, the leaders are having some trouble, like, well, how should we rearrange things or reword things to make it shorter? Um, but if you are interested in switching to the purple and gold with the top menu, let me know and I can provide something like that for you.
Okay. I'll see what they want to do.
Yeah. And even if it's baby steps, you can always switch to just the purple and gold without any heavy lifting, and just choosing that instead of the red and blue theme.
I remember when we were trying to decide what color to use, and at first we thought we'd go with the which I assume is the original, the red one,
Mhm.
because it was more leaguey or something. But we just really liked the purple and gold, and we thought it was more attractive. I don't remember about the functioning part.
I mean, the functionalities are the same. It's just the big difference of with that purple and gold theme, you get to choose the location of your menu, but the red and blue is just that standard left side.
And it always bothered me to have the purple and gold with the red and blue. It's like we got two things going on here. So
That is true, yeah, because our logos stay classic, but that purple and gold is everywhere else. Let's see. I will say, I did start talking with our developer. It's a very, very small thing, but I think that we see some leagues already doing it. When it comes to your league's homepage title, we always just use the portion that's, just your location, right? We never that's just like the MyLO standard to not include the League of Women Voters of or the LWV.
Right.
Um, and that's just because of trying to make it easier. Having that repeated on everybody's homepage and their name would be, it would just be a lot. But we also have, let me open this in a new tab. We also have the system fill in those blanks in certain places. So we see it in the logo. This logo is not actually a picture. It's it's being put together with what we provide as the default, the League of Women Voters of, um, and then the rest after that or that second of is what's filled in to the homepage title section. And then this of, you within your homepage settings have an option to remove it or not. And then the same thing goes for the footer section. That League of Women Voters of gets assumed there. So what I am asking of our team is to help add an option for the same here on the homepage title so that if you do choose to display League of Women Voters of or LWV of before this portion, then you can, just click a button to make that happen. Um, and that is because if you do include that portion, then we see the repetition of it in the logo and the
Oh,
repetition of it in the footer.
oh. Mm.
So it's not a huge deal because um, I mean, most folks are going to know that their official name is not League of Women Voters of League of Women Voters of. Um,
Looks stupid.
yeah, it's not a great look. And then the other thing, like as far as functionality goes, it makes your URL longer, and then sometimes it can affect your donate or join buttons. I think this league is doing all right. Theirs is okay, but it can make things disconnected because the homepage URL no longer is just the end portion of the league's name. It now has League Women Voters in there. And depending on if you've made changes across your entire site, if you haven't saved a page in a while, this addition to the URL may not get tracked on that page that hasn't been updated. So it just makes your the uniformity of your URLs a little wonky. But yeah, it is nice to have because I get that if you do go to someone's page and all you see is Jackson County, obviously you see League of Women Voters in other areas, but wanting to have at least LWV or the full written out name
Yeah, I like,
it
yeah,
is nice. So
yeah.
I'm working with them on that so that I can then, work with those leagues that may already be including it manually and let them know you can go ahead and take that out and we'll fill it in for you. You just have to choose how you want it written out.
Okay.
I have no idea if we did anything, but I'm not gonna worry about it.
No.
What I thought you were going to say was that were getting rid of the OF easier because our chapter so they want to get away from the geographical, and I won't go into why, but so at some point it might be more like League of Women Voters, Rouge River, something like that.
That of
Oh,
can be deleted. The second
yeah,
of,
yeah. Well, so there wouldn't be any of at all. It would be League of Women Voters, Rouge River,
right. And you
something like
can
that.
do that.
Yeah, well, I figured I could, but I figured I'd have to ask you to do it. But
No, no, it's an option you can choose.
oh, okay.
Let me see.
Probably ask you anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you always can. It's
I
never
know, I know,
it's
I
never
know.
a no.
I know, I know.
But just in case, if anybody else is like, "Oh, I want to do that right now," my computer is acting real slow. There we go.
Actually, when you think about it, maybe I'm being weird, but it's not really, I mean, we don't call ourselves League of Women Voters of Dearborn Heights. It's League of Women Voters, Dearborn Heights.
Yeah, and that's a lot of leagues that do not use
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I just thinking about it, I hadn't really thought about it or noticed it.
Okay, let's see. It is, oh, and right now my this demo site, I took the of off. So you'll see. So we edit the home page, and I believe it's under advanced settings. Yep. It's the first one there. Remove
Oh,
the of
Oh my gosh.
and the
Oh,
league
that's
logo.
so
that's
funny.
easy.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that
I'll
is
ask my
referring to
board.
that
Yeah.
second one. Here,
Okay,
I'll
thanks.
uncheck it.
So, Amaris, if we're done with this,
Yeah,
I have one more question.
yeah.
And this may not be the right venue, but we were having a happy hour last night, and we had some new people that showed up, and two of them wanted to join, so they decided to join right there on their phones,
Hmm.
and it turned out to be a really cumbersome project.
Oh no.
And one of them somehow ended up associated with a different league, and then she wasn't able to figure out how to get back to our league. And um, since I'm already a member, I don't
Mhm.
know that much about how that whole process works, but it feels to me like that's something that could be streamlined and made more intuitive. And and who should I talk to about figuring out what happened and how I
Yeah.
can keep it from happening again?
Yeah. I believe membership at lwv.org is always going to be that contact, but also I think the person at National that works with the membership is Nora Pullen. And
Or
her,
Poland,
yes,
PU.
her email is NPULLEN. Let me double check that. 'Cause I believe that's it. Yes, NPULLEN at lwv.org.
Okay.
And she should be the right person. I will say that, well, actually, no. I was going to say that usually the leagues, the local leagues or whichever leagues that are involved would have to work with each other to make the transfer happen. But I don't know. I'm thinking of that as California, and our local leagues. If it's
Yeah, she ended up in Tennessee, I
okay.
think. And
Oh,
I think that what happened, I mean, I'm not positive because I wasn't looking over her shoulder in the beginning, but it seems like, she went to our website, that took her to the membership portal, but then it seems like at the membership portal, she had to identify which league was her local league,
That's
and
what's
somehow it
odd
got messed up there.
because your league is using the link that National provided, right? Where it should lead to your league
As
already
far
selected.
as far as I know, I guess
Yeah,
I should check that.
I can't check myself either because I am a member as well.
But we have had, I know that we have had a couple people that also ended up, now they happen to end up in other Ohio leagues, but that they somehow, and for a while, I was thinking, okay, why aren't, if you hit our join and remove button, shouldn't that just take you right to the Perrysburg site? But
Right.
now that once you're a member, you can't check that. So I need to find that is not a member that could walk through that.
I'm actually going to try with an email that I have that is not, you know, part of my membership that should hopefully show me the form instead of showing me my account. Nope, there we go. 90281. Okay. So it is for sure on desktop. I wouldn't imagine that the link should be different on here, but I wonder, yeah, I don't know. It would require them to exit out of both of those, but I wonder also the way it looks like laid out on mobile. Maybe
Right.
it's more
Can you
compact.
go to a mobile view of this?
Yes, I don't know how
How
similar
accurate
it
it is?
is though,
Yeah.
because this already is a little funky. Just the fact that it's a little wider than my
Hmm.
supposed screen. Let me try another.
Now, where do
Yeah.
you, local though, where do you see Ventura? Where do you
Oh,
see
further
her?
down here.
Oh, right there it is. Okay.
Oh, see, okay, so you choose your local league.
Well, no,
So,
it was already,
Why
oh,
can't it was
you
already
know,
it was default, right?
right.
yeah, so that was set to the default. So she may have messed up there. But by the time I was sitting with her trying to help her, she was saying that it already had her email address in the system, and that email address was associated with the Tennessee League, and she couldn't get it
Oh,
to change. She couldn't get to
okay.
the League of Women Voters of Ventura County.
So she
If
was
her
really renewing
right, because then
or
that sounds like
reactivating.
But
she already
she
had
was
an account.
never in Tennessee. So I don't
Oh,
know how
But
that would have happened.
I
oh,
think that
Oh,
is true because I have, okay, so when the new system first went into place, I used, I was using my husband's email address to do some testing with it. And so now if I try to put his in there to do more testing, it comes back and says you're already in the system. So if you had if at some point
mhm.
this woman had maybe tried to, she thought, oh, I might want to join, and had somehow clicked the wrong thing. I think now you're out there and you're not a member, but somehow they've saved your information. At
Yeah,
least that's the way it was. What have we been using it now? A
yeah.
year and a half ago.
Wow, how funny. That you wouldn't expect that because you're not signing up for anything yet, but it is being saved in this system.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just,
I'll contact Nora and see if,
but
you know,
Maddie,
yeah.
did you ask your membership person to look on the roster and see where she was? I mean, did she get that far? Did she actually join?
This was just last night and she did not join
Oh,
because
okay.
she could not get to our
Okay, thank you.
league.
Got it.
And she, at first she was thinking she'd just go ahead and join and have it changed later. But
Mm.
we were talking about how, most of the fee, the dues goes to the national and a bunch of it goes to California, and then we end up with $15. But and she was saying, well, we want the league to have it. But then I was thinking, well, this isn't even California. California wouldn't even get, her membership. So, so, yeah, she texted me all her contact information so that I have it. So I will get more details from her and then I'll talk to the membership person. But it does seem, even the person who got in, she spent about 20 minutes trying to
Going through the
sign up,
form. Wow.
which seems like too long.
I don't know why people just don't wait till they get home. I guess I'm just too old school, but I'd rather just be on my
I agree with
computer,
you.
not stressed. I hate doing stuff on the phone.
Me
Especially
too.
when
It's
it's a
such a
form.
tiny little screen.
Yeah, just give them something that's
And with
got
my
your
finger,
website on it. Yeah,
keyboard is so much easier.
Yeah.
and just give them the website.
Well, I
Yeah.
wonder too if she can, or if you already know the name of the league in Tennessee, maybe try reaching out to them too if they have any control of if there's a possible way to transfer it, or if they may just have to delete it on their
Yeah,
end and then she can go ahead and be free to sign up as she was wanting to.
right. Because if it's in Tennessee, you can't do anything about it either, right?
Right. Yeah, the only other people would
Commerce,
be
yeah. I mean,
Nora, I
anything in the
guess, but
California, you have,
right.
yeah.
If it were something like that, then we usually can jump in and help if the local league is not able to. But yeah, I'm just
Mhm.
thinking, especially if I know that um, the
Although
membership
Tennessee,
email
they would be
gets really
on
inundated.
MyLO. So even though it's Tennessee, it would be on MyLO,
Mhm.
Oh, is
right?
it a league
So,
on
I mean,
MyLO?
it was a MyLO league, yeah,
How
Did
does she
or
know
what
that?
MyLO website.
How does she know that?
But because I could see, when she was trying to get in, it had the MyLO league for this Tennessee league, and she
Huh.
anyway, like I said, it was in the middle of happy hour,
Yeah.
sitting in a bar, trying to look over somebody's shoulder. So I don't have all the details. All I know is that it was not easy to sign up.
Right.
You know.
You might not want to tell Nora that it was happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, my secret is safe with you guys, right?
I think so on this recorded Milo office
Right.
hours.
That's going to be published to the world on the internet. But oh well.
But safe with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had a poor woman real quickly. She actually
yeah.
joined a neighboring chapter, and I don't know why she didn't contact them, but she contacted us anyway. She didn't realize she was spending $75 and she just really couldn't afford it, but it had already gone through. And she wanted to call her bank and tell them to, So I really, Nora got back to me so quickly, and she copied somebody from somewhere else, and and then they contacted state, and the woman got her money back
Oh, nice.
within a few days. It was really wonderful.
Wow.
That's
Well, that's
good.
good to
Good to
know that,
know.
yes,
Yeah,
that there are quick responses when necessary.
yeah. And just in case anybody gets a question from anybody from the outside that said they got something from the league asking them to vote on a lawn sign, and if they gave a donation, they would get a lawn sign.
Hmm.
Well, they haven't gone out yet. It's going to take at least 8 to 10 weeks, something like that.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
so it took me a
I saw
while to
that
answer
email.
that question for
Yeah.
national. Oh God.
Thank you for sharing that because, yeah, I definitely saw that email.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed it or just ignored it. And then when she called me, she contacted because she knows me. How come I didn't get my lawn sign? So I went. I mean, I started with communications, and then they sent it, of course, to development and all that. I mean, there were two or three people on the email. It was really quick, but there are
But
41 people working there. I heard.
good
Excuse
to
me.
know.
So anyway, thank you.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay.
All right, folks. I think that takes us to the end of our session. We'll
Okay.
be 2 weeks from now is the 16th,
Mhm.
Text Day. So we'll be getting together on the 16th. Um, yeah, if there's any particular topic, I'll let you guys know ahead of time, but we'll plan to be here again and then see you guys in the Google group before then.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks
Thank
as
you.
No
always.
problem. Yes, thanks as
Bye.
always for
Always good
joining.